Hi Swallowtails, it is time for gathering. So today we will sing a song, we'll do our question, we will read our celebrated book, answers, poem of the day, an activity, and stickers. Our song today is going to be Slippery Fish. Since our celebrated book is about sea creatures, we could sing a song about sea creatures. Most of you should know this song, but I don't think that we have sang it in the Swallowtail class this year. So if you remember it, sing with me and do the movements, okay? So first you need to make a fish. Slippery fish, swimming in the water. Slippery fish, gulp, gulp, gulp. Oh no, he's been eaten by a tuna fish, splashing in the water. A tuna fish, gulp, gulp, gulp. Oh no, he's been eaten by an octopus, dancing in the water. An octopus, gulp, gulp, gulp. Oh no, he's been eaten by a great white shark, lurking in the water. A great white shark, gulp, gulp, gulp. Oh no, he's been eaten by a great big whale, floating in the water. A great big whale, gulp, gulp, gulp. Oh no, our song is over. So that's the song for today. We've done our song. Now it is time for our question. So today I would like you to make a connection. So first, let's write our numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many words is make a connection? Make a connection. That's 3 words. So we'll circle the number 3, and we will draw 3 lines. Make a connection. 1, 2, 3. So this sentence, the first word is make. So it says make a connection. That's not a question. I'm not asking you something. I'm telling you to do something. So that is going to end in a period. It's not a question. So we end with a period. So the first word is make. That is an M. Up, down, up, down. Make. So that could be 2 letters. It could be a C or it could be a K. I know that it is a K. So down, in and out. A. So that's an A. So right now this says Mac. If I wanted to say make, I need to add an E to the end. Make a connection. So that's another tricky one. That could be a C or a K. I know that it is a K. It's a C. Connection. That's an N. What other sounds do you hear in the middle of the word connection? Connection. So I hear a N. Connect. Another C. And shun is kind of tricky. I know that that's T-I-O-N. So we're missing a few letters. So it's an O. I might not have enough space. I know there are 2 N's and there is an E right here. Make a connection. So at the end of our celebrated book, I want you to think about the characters in the story, think about what happens in the story and see if there's something that connects to your life, something that's happened to you, or maybe there's a character that has done something that you know somebody else has done in real life. Once you've made a connection, you can ask your parents to write it in the comments so that I can read it later. A House for Hermit Crab by Carle. This book was published by Scholastic. The author is Carle. He's also the illustrator, and this is called A House for Hermit Crab. That's the title. Need to put some tape in this book. Time to move, said Hermit Crab one day in January. I've grown too big for this little shell. He had felt safe and snug in the shell, but now it was too snug. Hermit Crab stepped out of the shell and onto the floor of the ocean. But it was frightening out in the open sea without a shell to hide in. What if a big fish comes along and attacks me, he thought. I must find a new house soon. Early in February, Hermit Crab found just the house he was looking for. It was a big shell and strong. He moved right in, wiggling and waggling about inside just to see how it felt. It felt just right. But it looks so plain, thought Hermit Crab. In March, Hermit Crab met some sea anemones. They swayed gently back and forth in the water. How beautiful you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to come and live on my house? It's so plain it needs you. I'll come, whispered a small sea anemone. Gently, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and put it on his shell. In April, Hermit Crab passed a flock of starfish moving slowly along the sea floor. How handsome you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to decorate my house? I would, signaled a little sea star. Carefully, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and put it on his house. In May, Hermit Crab discovered some coral. They were hard and didn't move. How pretty you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to help make my house more beautiful? I would, creaked a crusty coral. Gingerly, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on his shell. In June, Hermit Crab came to a group of snails crawling over a rock on the ocean floor. They grazed as they went, picking up algae and bits of debris, and leaving a neat path behind them. How tidy and hard-working you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to come and help clean my house? I would, offered one of the snails. Happily, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on his shell. In July, Hermit Crab came upon several sea urchins. They had sharp, prickly needles. How fierce you look, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to protect my house? I would, answered a spiky sea urchin. Gratefully, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it near his shell. In August, Hermit Crab and his friends wandered into a forest of seaweed. It's so dark here, thought Hermit Crab. How dim it is, murmured the sea anemone. How gloomy it is, whispered the starfish. How murky it is, complained the coral. I can't see, said the snail. It's like a nightmare, cried the sea urchin. In September, Hermit Crab spotted a school of lanternfish darting through the dark water. How bright you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to light up our house? I would, replied one lanternfish, and it swam over near the shell. In October, Hermit Crab approached a pile of smooth pebbles. How sturdy you are, said Hermit Crab. Would you mind if I rearranged you? Not at all, answered the pebbles. Hermit Crab picked them up one by one with his claw and built a wall around his shell. Now my house is perfect, cheered Hermit Crab. But in November, Hermit Crab felt that his shell seemed a bit too small. Little by little over the year, Hermit Crab had grown. Soon he would have to find another bigger home, but he had come to love his friends, the sea anemone,
The starfish, the coral, the sea urchin, the snail, the lanternfish, and even the smooth pebbles. They have been so good to me, thought Hermit Crab. They are like a family. How can I ever leave them? In December, a smaller hermit crab passed by. I have outgrown my shell, she said. Would you know of a place for me? I've outgrown my house too, answered Hermit Crab. I must move on. You are welcome to live here, but you must promise to be good to my friends. I promise, said the small crab. The following January, Hermit Crab stepped out and the little crab moved in. Couldn't stay in that little shell forever, said Hermit Crab as he waved goodbye. The ocean floor looked wider than he had remembered, but Hermit Crab was not afraid. Soon he spied the perfect house, a big, empty shell. It looked, well, a little plain, but sponges, he thought, barnacles, clownfish, sand dollars, electric eels. Oh, there are so many possibilities. I cannot wait to get started. And that is the end. This here is a picture of Eric Carle and his son. So if you haven't seen Eric Carle, that's what he looks like.
Just finished our celebrated book. If you can make a connection to the story, type that in the comments below and I'll read it later. So we did story, answers. Now it's time for our poem of the day. During morning meeting, we said that today is March the 31st. It's the last day in March. So I'm going to go to that page in our poem book. So I'll read the words and then I'll show you the illustration. This is a long poem, longer than the other ones that we've read. So the title of this poem is Daffodils. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze, continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretch in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in spring-light dance. The waves beside me danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft, when on my couch I lay, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills, and dances with the daffodils. This poem was written by William Wordsworth, and this is the illustration. The title is Daffodils. Okay, so we read our poem. Now it's time for our activity. So this activity is going to require you to do something at home if you want to do it. On a piece of paper or on a paper plate, you can draw a swirl. And once you draw a swirl on a piece of paper or paper plate, it looks like a hermit crab shell or a snail shell. And so if you want to do that, you can draw a swirl and then get some glue and then go around and see if you can find little things to decorate your shell, just like the hermit crab in our story. And once you do that, you can send me a picture of it or a video and I'll put it on Instagram. If you're having trouble drawing a swirl, you could ask your parents to help you, and I think they could do that pretty easily. Okay, so that's our activity for today. Hope I get to see some of your hermit crab shells. Okay, Swallowtails, that's the end of gathering. Have a good day. Bye.